pandemic of what? Actually, there was never a pandemic. It was a pandemic of what? Actually, there was never a pandemic. It was a pandemic of what?